EU to plug £11 billion Brexit hole with stealth tax, Brussels to c.harge Britons to visit Europe. About 30 million foreign visitors are currently subject to a €5 levy, £4.43, to enter the bloc without a visa, but this could soon be hiked as desperate Eurocrats scramble to balance their books ahead of Britain's impending departure. Any increase in the European Travel Information and Authorisation System, Etias, charge would likely apply to the millions of Britons who holiday in or travel to Europe once the UK leaves the Union. The travel tax is just one of a raft of new levies being considered by EU finance bosses to cover the black hole in contributions made by Britain after Brexit. Other options on the table for making up the funding shortfall include an EU-wide plastic tax and charges on greenhouse gases. Speaking after a meeting of EU commissioners yesterday, the European Commissioner for Budget, Günther Oettinger said, "We produce and use too much plastic which is then wasted and is not recycled and has to be dealt with somewhere else in the world. We have to ensure we reduce the quantity of plastic." The German MEP, who is part of Angela Merkel's sister party the Christian Social Union, is also pushing for profits from the bloc's carbon trading scheme to be directed straight into the Union's coffers. The EU emissions trading scheme sets limits on the amount of carbon dioxide businesses can emit, but also allows firms to trade their unused allowance on an open market. The UK currently contributes about 11% of the bloc's total budget. And although Britain has committed to honour its financial obligations until 2020, the EU is now facing the difficult challenge of drawing up a budget blueprint for the next 7 years. The new multi-annual financial framework will run from 2021 until 2027 and will need the agreement of all 27 member states before it comes into force. Mr. Oettinger this week revealed his plans to make wealthier members of the remaining EU 27 to pay more towards long-term projects. Part of this cash would be used to fund so-called cohesion policy, essentially providing money to poorer member states to improve living standards and avoid widening rifts between the richer and less wealthy countries in the bloc. But there is already major disagreement over where the EU's limited funds should be allocated. Some nations favor things like defense, security and border protection projects. However, others would prefer to see more spent on cohesion,